Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where my guest and I play some movie roulette and randomly pick something from my obscenely large watch list. It could be anything. It could be I Love Lucy, but in movie form. And that's what this was. And we're going to be talking about the long, long trailer. And joining me is one of my frequent collaborators, my friend, and member of the crew. It's Luke,
Hello, I'm back again.
and better than ever. There we go.
Hmm. Questionable, but thank you for thinking it.
Debatable for me at the moment. Uh, you know, we're all doing our best in the
Yes.
year of our Lord 2025. And yes, we are indeed going to be talking about the long, long trailer. And here's some background for you. This film was released February 18th, 1954, so right around that Valentine's Day time here in the States, which makes a lot of sense. This
hmm
movie has a runtime of 96 minutes, budgeted of 1.5 million, and made $4 million.
Okay.
So in that era of movies, that was a pretty big hit,
hmm
honestly. This was directed by Vicente Minnelli, and if you think that last name sounds familiar and you don't know who he is, you probably know his daughter, Liza Minnelli.
hmm
And this is indeed starring Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. You know, they were big on TV with I Love Lucy, and this was a big swing for them going into the theaters. And based on a 1951 novel by Clinton Twiss, the 1953 36-foot Redmond New Moon model of trailer, which sold for $5,345, which is $62,817 today. So
hmm
that was an expensive trailer that
Yes.
they wound up getting here. Um, they used larger, more powerful vehicles in that mountain scene when it like pulled away.
Yeah.
And it was just like, if you pay close enough attention, you notice the car changed. Fun stuff. And Arnez made $25,000 bet with the studio that the film would outdraw MGM's other largest comedy ever, Father of the Bride. And it did. This indeed made more money than the original Father of the Bride, starring Spencer Tracy. Ball felt
Hmm.
she finally gained respect from MGM, who disrespected her and underutilized her in the 40s before she went to television. So
Hmm.
this was kind of like a redemption arc.
Okay.
And the studio didn't think it would be successful because people wouldn't want to pay to see Ball and Arnez when they could watch them for free on television.
So the same argument as, many studio execs. And to be fair, they have been kind of proven right with many cases. So like
Yeah.
I see why. And their next movie, we are not talking about that, but there's a next movie I read that flopped. Starring those two. So they might have been right.
Here's the thing, I didn't really know that they made movies, to be frank.
Same.
So I learned a lot about I didn't love being the Ricardos, but I feel like it gave me a lot more perspective on Lucille Ball being more than just like
hmm I
Lucy.
liked it actually. So like, yeah. Okay.
Like, well, the thing is, I had huge expectations, it being a Sorkin
Mm.
film and going for Oscars and stuff, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, but I'm like, this isn't like an Oscar movie. And also, I'm still perturbed by them casting Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz.
Why?
Because I'm like, nowhere in my mind was it's like, Lucy, I'm home. Instead, it's like, Lucy, I'm home. And it's just like, bass. And I'm just like, it was so distracting for me having watched like I Love Lucy growing up and just being like,
hmm
Javier Bardem's an amazing actor and I love him very much. And he's great in a lot of things. I'm just like, that was a weird bit of casting. And then I had to really think about it. I don't know who I would have as Desi
I,
Arnaz, honestly.
I
It's
was
like
gonna say Oscar Isaac.
if they were younger, I think that would have worked. But that I guess that's the thing because it's Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem. They're supposed to be older
Yes.
in being the Ricardos. Because what the three people that popped in my head, I'm like, it would either was going to be Benicio del Toro, Javier Bardem, or Antonio Banderas. And I feel
Mm.
like Antonio Banderas would have been way too distracting being Antonio Banderas because like he
Lucy,
does
I'm
not.
home.
He's like it's like Lucy, I'm home. And just like it's like I feel like Javier Bardem and Antonio Banderas have such specific voices,
Mm-hmm.
and
100%.
it just wasn't going to work. I'm like Benicio del Toro would have been interesting.
Mm.
Have a few small beers.
Mm.
Um, so after that
Anyway.
tangent, but anyways, this will being the Ricardos will never be on the Wasteland watch list because I've seen it before. So
Mm.
if you want to hear my thoughts on the film, you can go check out my review. But maybe when it becomes 10 years old, we could talk about it on the retrospective. But the long trailer. Mickey and Tacy are going to be married. Mickey wants to save up money for a house, but Tacy dreams of starting off with their own home on wheels, a trailer.
For some fucking reason.
Well, I guess the conceit of the film is that he's going to be on the road all the time. And she's like, but what if I could be there with you?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I got a job on the road, Jess would suggest we get a trailer. I would 100% see that happening.
I guess, and obviously, like you guys, Americans, are much more prone to, you know what? Let me sit in my car, drive for 12 hours to this other state, and I'm like, okay. For me, that's not nah.
You describe me every single June when I go to see my brother and my nephews for 10 hours.
See,
Which I hate every moment of because I hate driving in the car, especially for 10 hours.
and now imagine dragging something fucking big behind you. Mm.
Which, like, I'm just pointing out a fact about my marriage that, like, I don't think Jess would possibly want to be away from me for any longer period of time. She's
Mm.
like, I'm coming with you, going on the road. But no, this obviously is starring Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. And like I said, directed by Facetta Minnelli. Luke, after all of that, what are your general thoughts on the long trailer?
I had a good enough time. Like I thought. So my question is to you: Is it fair to say this? Is it fair to say this is one joke premise? And the joke
Yes.
is, hey, look, we
Look
have
how
a
big this
trailer.
trailer is.
Yeah, look at how, look. Maybe this time when we try to cook in it, maybe this time not, nothing gets that messy. Oh shit, it happened again. Oh well.
Womp womp.
What a knee slapper this is. And but to be fair, but the reason I enjoyed it, there are some scenes where like when Desi is learning how to drive it, like brakes, the trailer brakes first, and it's
Air brakes first.
like you feel for the guy. You're like you can tell he doesn't want this, and kind of I was in for pretty much the entire movie. I'm kind of in his corner. I'm like, poor dude. Like imagine getting married finally, right? And then you're basically bulldozered to buying this trailer, and I'm like, yay, poor dude. Like, and then he needs to learn how to drive it. I'm like, good, damn, dude. And then like she goes on with the rocks and the like jars, and I'm like, do you want to die? This is how people die. But anyway, I kind of had a good time despite the fact that it was one joke premise comedy. Like I thought, and mainly for because of Lucille Ball and Desi, because like oh, surprise or spoiler, they were married in real life, and the
Yep.
chemistry shines through on a screen. So you can it's they definitely have a chemistry. They definitely those two are the reason why this like in other any other hands this movie would have been very unbearable after 20-30 minutes, but because of them and because of her face acting, her face, and and him always being kind of on the edge of, is he gonna blow up again, or what he's gonna do, what he's gonna say, like I feel like they make it work just enough where I'm like, yeah, 96 minutes kind of flew by. I don't regret spending my time. I'm probably not gonna watch it ever again,
Mm.
but I don't regret spending my 96 minutes of my life on this movie, and I had a decent enough time. What about you, Shane? What did you think?
I had a fun time. I thought this was obviously a vehicle for them. Ah,
Hmm, literally.
joy. Well, because like I don't know about you, but I feel like this film would have made more sense with a younger couple.
I
But
guess.
I feel
Yeah.
like this obviously was made for them. Like the whole
Hmm.
entire point of this, they were making this for themselves.
Hmm.
Because Desi Arnaz was like 37 and Lucille Ball was like 43.
But see, people, like listeners of the show, you need to realize one thing. They were 37 and 43 in 1954, where they actually look much older. Like
Yep.
I'm sorry to say, like I'm not trying to judge. Like I'm a human blob as any other. Like I don't look great. I understand, but damn, those were some
Oh,
hard. He's 37.
yes.
I was like, he's like mid 40s, and she looks even slightly older because of the hairstyle, because of the dresses.
Well, here's the
Like,
thing, Luke. I was watching that new John Candy documentary, and when I realized that he was 35 years old and Uncle Buck, and I'm just like,
yep, mm-hmm,
at a moment. It
yes.
was just like, what? What?
So yeah, what we're
So
saying is,
they
this
they
couple,
feel older,
they
but like
definitely did.
definitely. And like, yes, this movie is for them on display.
Hmm.
Like them displaying their talents, what really makes them. He sings, she does all of her fun facial expressions and stuff like that. It was hard for me to disconnect this from just being a long loose I Love Lucy episode because like I don't think they did anything to make these characters stand out as different characters than just I'm watching Lucy and Desi. So like there's that. So like
Yes.
but I feel like most people are tuning in to watch this movie because it is Lucy and Desi. So I guess you get what you want.
As somebody who's never seen a single episode of I Love Lucy, I only seen the clips and bits and pieces here and there. I also thought, was this like how I Love Lucy actually feels like? And I'm like, oh, okay, it
Well,
does.
like
Okay,
that
cool.
was also like their 20-minute sitcom episodes and stuff
Mm,
like that. Because yes, this does feel like one elongated joke.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And they go back to the well a couple of times with the king gag and stuff like that. And it's fun. It's physical comedy
mm-hmm.
and it works. And they have obviously some relationship drama and stuff like that. And I think that works fine. Um, I think the best set piece of the whole movie was that whole mountain range thing because that was
Yes.
legitimately intense.
I
Because I'm
was
like,
just gonna bring it up. Yes, I think thank you for because yeah, that I was like, damn, this movie turned kind of into Wages of Fear really quick. I was like, what the fuck? But it, but it's like
it's like get William Freakton to make a remake. We're going Sorcerer too.
we'll call it The Witch or something. I don't know, but it's just yeah.
They're gonna call it Warlock. Uh,
Ooh,
there we go. But no, like that was legitimately tense because I was waiting
mhm.
for something horrible to happen.
Yes.
And Minnelli does a good job of building up that tension. And I think Lucy and Desi do a great job of like making us feel on edge because they're feeling on edge. And you're getting that, like, you're feeling very empathetic in that moment where I'm like, oh
And how
no.
they talking about the book and like and like circles like, so you haven't finished. What haven't finished what? The book. Oh no. I realized we watched it before, so I stopped halfway through it. And again, these moments are why this movie worked good and well enough for me.
Yeah.
Because again, they know how to play off of each other, right? Like both Desi and Lucy, like obviously, their chemistry is why this movie works.
Yeah.
And like ultimately, the other reason is no matter what happens on the screen, you can tell they love each other, right?
Yes.
And I think this is where modern comedies and romantic comedies kind of fail because like nowadays the joke is, haha, look, they kind of hate each other. Haha, look. And like you never get those people should be together, right? Because you want to be or you should be rooting for them. And nowadays we are in this place, strange place where it's like, oh, look, isn't it funny? Like they should be getting divorced, but they are still battling each other. Huh, it's kind of funny, right? Yeah, they hate each other. And this one here, like, no, they have a fight, and then they kind of like, okay, okay, we'll try to make it better. Which is, and like they try to like work through it. They try, and like you kind of rooting for them. Not kind of, you are rooting for them.
Driving away. And she's like, no, Nikki.
Yeah,
And then they're like, "No, I'm sorry," and like having that big moment at the end, it's
in
just
the
like,
rain.
yeah, feeling very relatable. Because here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, to your point, too many romantic comedies today focus on fighting for the good moments,
Mm-hmm.
fighting through the bad moments to find the good moments. That's not
Mm-hmm.
what life is.
Mm-hmm.
Life is fighting through, like, you love each other and then you fight together through the hard moments.
Yes.
And this is one of those things where it's like they are a loving couple and here's a challenge they have to overcome. And there's tension. Like when they're driving down that main street and she's driving and he's being like, "No, you got to do this, you got to do this," and she rage quits and jumps into the back seat, and you're just like, "Damn."
Yeah.
Never had exactly those moments, but like those are very relatable relationship moments where it's just like everybody needs to take a step back and relax for a
Correct.
moment.
Correct.
Them going to the expo and you show up to the Subaru dealership and you want to buy the most economic vehicle possible, and then your wife sees one that has really fun trim on it and says it out loud in front of the salesperson, and then you go home with that car instead.
Yep. Yep.
Very relatable moments, not an actual autobiographical story I just told from last December when I bought a Subaru. But like those are the fun relationship moments where you're just like, God, I've been there. And like, how did they leave with the biggest possible trailer?
Happy
Because she
wife, happy
really,
life.
because she really liked it.
Yes.
And you say it in front of the salespeople. Public service announcement: keep your comments to yourself and in private at any type of dealership, because they will jump on you like white on rice. Those sharks are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
tip your hand. But no, like those are the moments that make this film worthwhile because you feel the real organic chemistry of them,
Mm.
and just being like, they're a real couple and they have real couple moments here.
Like the family scene, right? When they arrive to see the family and he's
Oh
trying
my
to back into the driveway. And I, to be fair, like I didn't understand it because like he was doing so fucking well, and then suddenly he's not, and then he destroys most of the garden part of the house. And like, but she's still in his corner. She's like, "No, you guys are talking bit all like he's poor thing is overwhelmed. So I'm gonna do the all talking." And then she fails again. That's why, and then she fails him, and that's why he destroys the house. And then the scene with the check, like, "Oh, this is your wedding gift. Oh, but I don't think no, no, no. Especially like we should keep it. Oh, well, if you insist, yeah, it is a big damage." I'm like, family.
That was the second best scene in the whole movie. And I was sitting like, oh my God. And it's also very relatable because I backed into a gate post the first time I tried to back out of my grandparents' very long, very crooked driveway
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where I grew up. And it gave me anxiety of driving, like really badly. And which is why maybe that is why I find pull through spots. I will park blocks away if it's a pull spot you're finding something closer, or I have to back out later. But like it was also so relatable that you're trying to drive a car and then everybody else thinks they're a freaking expert about
Yep.
driving cars and then try to give you advice while you're trying to drive the car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, this movie's a lot more relatable than
I was
like
gonna say we are having a therapy session here. Okay, welcome to our therapy session episode.
welcome to the Wasteland therapy. Wasteland therapy. No,
Dr.
like
Shane will see you now.
Dr. Shane needs a moment. Um, but like this is why this film works. You
Hmm.
have those organic elements. Sure, it's a one note joke that gets
Hmm.
stretched for like 96 minutes,
Hmm.
but you keep having those moments that happen that keep pulling you back into the movie. And
Yeah.
it's an enjoyable, it's a fun time, it's well made, it has good physical comedy, and you have two very charismatic leads that anchor the thing down. And I'm glad I watched it. This is a TCM. Apparently, this is a pretty regular TCM movie, and it's on HBO Max here at least. So that's
Okay.
where I got to check it out. And I I'm gonna thank friend of the show and frequent collaborator Patrice because she keeps getting me to watch like all these 50s and 60s
Mhm.
movies that I've never heard of. And like this is a fun era
I
of
wonder whether
movie.
she's seen this one because she doesn't have it logged on Letterboxd. So
Interesting.
maybe this time he can turn the tables on her and be like, "Hey, Patrice, this is a movie from 1954 you should watch."
Well, and it was so funny because I just did a my top 10 episode of Wasteland Talks with Nick about the 50s.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna lie, you know how you ask what's your favorite movie decade?
Yeah,
And I definitely, or what you think the best decade is, and I definitely said the 70s while I was on there.
I think so.
Um, the 50s honestly has a bunch of bangers in it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was looking back and I'm like, man, I absolutely love so many movies that came out in the 1950s. And then you have stuff like this, which is a lot of fun. That's the thing, they're always colorful and vibrant from this
Yes.
era, and that gives it some at least like fun personality to appreciate too.
And also, they
Um,
had to shoot mostly on real sets. Like when he knocks over
yeah,
that fucking house, he
that was a
actually knocks
house.
over the actual part of a building. Like, okay,
Yeah,
sure, might have been a set built for that. Okay, sure, but it was built. It's not CGI. Like, yeah,
no,
there are other scenes where they're like, the 1940s, 50s driving, where there's obviously like just like like the
no, like this
film being
movie was
projected. You know.
like they shot on a lot of streets here because you have
Hmm.
other people behind them
Yep.
honking at like this like I appreciated that little nugget about the film too, is that this
Hmm.
felt very lived in. I'm like, my
Yes.
God, I've been on trips like this and
Yes.
flashbacks, having like my nom flashbacks of like you just hear like faint bullets and explosions in the background. You're just like,
I've been there, man.
I've been there, man. Luke, do you have any other thoughts on the long, long trailer?
I would say like what basically sum up what we've said. Like, will is this like the best movies from 1950? Probably not. Well, it's not. But will you regret your time spending 96 minutes with this movie? I don't also think not. Like, it's a perfectly great, fine, enjoyable movie. If you go into it thinking or wanting just a nice, simple, like, enjoyable, that feels authentic and,
Hmm.
feels real because it is both of those things. Yeah, I think it can do much worse.
Absolutely. It's a fun, charming little flick. And
Mhm.
if you, like me, grew up with your grandparents and watched a ton of old sitcoms and stuff like that, and you love I Love Lucy, this
Hmm.
definitely scratches that itch for sure.
Nice.
But that's a wrap on another episode of the Wasteland Watchlist. Luke, thank you so much for coming on and talking movies with me.
Always a blast. I'll be here as long as you want me.
So we'll be here all week. The
Woo!
veal. But thank you all for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite movie starring famous television actors? I think
Mm.
that's a fun little prompt.
Die Hard?
And yes, that's where Bruce Willie got started, was on
Yeah.
television. So there you go. Or like anything with Bryan Cranston in it. If it's like Malcolm in the Middle guy, oh my God, Breaking Bad. Now
Yeah.
movies.
Mm-hmm.
They killed Malcolm's dad in Godzilla. Oh, could they?
Poor.
In the first act. But make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. Luke has a great show with Flicks and Chill. We have so many other shows. I have 5 of these, all movie related, but there's other interests too, things to pique your interest. And if you want to join the crew, check out our website and reach out. Whether if you want to be a guest, like on a show specifically like this, or Luke show, we love guests. We need guests. Come on,
Please,
join
please.
us. Please reach out. And or you could start your own podcast if you have some ideas as well. You're always welcome here on the crew. But if you like our logo too, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watch List here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.